right now.
You are tuned in to Right Now Podcast with Jroc and KJ.
I want to rock right now.
What's going on, everybody? This is Right Now Podcast with Jroc and KJ.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys locked in and tuned in as we go ahead and start this episode. We're going to dive back into our part 4 of our series of Unveiling Financial Wealth and Literacy.
Yes.
So tonight we're actually going to end it with building a foundation for long-term financial success.
Yes.
So we've talked about the ending. Now we're ending with the start.
Basically.
Yeah. So you get a chance, if you're first time listening, go back in and listen to all the previous shows that were recorded.
Right.
And it will be in a perfect order for you. But let's go ahead and dive into this, man. I hope everybody had a good weekend. KJ, how was your weekend, bro?
It was pretty solid. Solid, except for my team lost, of course.
We'll get into it.
But we'll talk about that another time. It'd be like that sometimes. I mean, but relatively made it through the outbreak at the house. So everybody's sick. It's crazy. I'm just dodging germs like. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's been a couple things going around.
Yeah.
But I'm glad everybody's good at the house.
Yeah, everybody's good though.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So let's go ahead and dive right into this, man. So let's start off with what does long-term financial success really mean? How would you describe that, KJ?
I would say long-term financial success, it's basically in the name. I mean, long-term. So it's not for the quick. It focuses on creating like sustainable. So that way it lasts for a long term. So you can have it over an extended period of time. So basically it's in the word long term. You want to make sure that it goes forever or as long as possible. Good financial planning, making good decisions.
Yeah.
Having a good solid strategy in place. That way you can achieve your financial goals, not just for you in the right now, but for you and your generations. In the next time.
Absolutely, bro. Like for sure, long term, like some of the things that we've talked about, making sure that the investment for this is you're planning for the long term, so you're not in one of those investments where you're diving in quickly, but you're sowing into it for a while to make sure the tree grows,
right? And
not that as soon as it starts to flower up, you're pulling it, right. So, absolutely, man. Long term financial success. It's also not monetary.
Okay.
Right. Doesn't necessarily mean it's monetary, but we can dive into all that, man. One crucial aspect of building the foundation for long-term financial success, again, starts with budgeting, bro.
The B word.
Yeah, the B word. We talked about the sharing of the commitments, the same account.
Right.
But this one's back to the budgeting.
The B word.
Right. So how do you approach budgeting? And why is that so important in this situation, bro?
I mean, look, to be honest, like budgeting is the cornerstone of financial success. See, what happens is, and I'm probably guilty of this, and some of you also listening may be guilty of this. All right, boom. So back in the day, you was only making X amount of dollars, and you was able to make X amount of dollars stretch to where you were able to meet, you might not exceed your necessities, but you're able to meet your necessities. But now you're not making X amount of dollars no more. You making Y amount of dollars. And so now, when you was budgeting and saving and putting and prioritizing your spending, tracking your income, you was able to make things work. But now, you're just blowing money. So you got to make sure that you're, keeping track of your income, your expenses, prioritizing your spending, make sure that you're saving and investing for the future. Basically, once you create a budget, you can basically control your money. Because if I got this much money put to the side, the rest of that money can do whatever it do. And in the future, that $100 that you have put to the side is now $3,000.
Let me ask you a question though. Not just for you, but for anybody else out there listening. You were on a budget of life, making X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, you've gone to the Y amount of dollars. Does your flavor of taste of certain of restaurants, your styles of clothes, the luxury of life, all that starts to play? You know what I'm saying? You go from driving this car for a certain while. Now you're like, you know what? Let me do this one now. So or do you play it smart and wait a little while? I guess it really just depends on what kind of person you are, right? So that's why it's important in this. If it's long-term success, even though you're making the Y money now, doesn't necessarily mean you got to start doing spending. Doesn't mean you got to start doing the Y spending.
Yes.
Where you start questioning, why the hell did I just spend the money on that?
And it don't be why, it be why not.
It do be why not.
It be why not.
It be why not.
Because when you had X amount of money, it was why.
Yeah.
And now that you got Y amount of money, it's why not?
Yeah, it do be why not.
But then that's how you end up dealing with the big D.
Debt. Ooh. Debt. That goes back to the first episode.
Man.
Where we talked about college.
Yeah. So, you want to make sure that, you're on top of your debt management. Many people struggle with debt and find it difficult to build wealth while carrying a financial burden. It's hard for you to advance when you're already in the hole. So how would you advise someone looking to manage their debt effectively, Jroc?
I mean, it really starts off again, starting back with what we just got done talking about, which is budgeting, bro.
Okay.
Because to clear up the money space, you got to have money space available, right? And in order to do that, again, you have to be able to play smart about it.
Okay.
Right? You can't be just spending the money because you're trying to get out of debt. So you want to collectively write down the exact things in your mind, what you want to pay off, have an end date of when you want to have that paid off, and have the how process of how you're going to have that debt paid off. Right. And then do your check-ins. Your check-ins can be weekly check-ins, or do you have your funds available? How are they coming for when that payment's coming up? You can do a 2-week check-in, a 10-day check-in. Don't wait till day 27 check-in though.
Nah.
When it's time to get ready to make that payment. So you want to start doing check-ins to make sure that, hey, I've got this allocated to go into this debt fund over here.
Yes.
And there's different ways you can clear these debts up, whether it be consolidated,
okay,
or you break them down individually. I've heard that consolidate them is the best way to go. Just make sure that if you're paying somebody to do it, I don't recommend. It's 2023. We can educate ourselves to do it yourself. Plus, you're on a budget.
Right.
No need to get into more debt.
Right.
To clear debt. So
what?
Yeah. So you want to make sure you're able to do that, and simply just go on YouTube or find somebody that can assist you with that. If you need help, shoot us a message. We have access to a lot of people.
Yeah, Jroc is 6 degrees from someone. 6 degrees of separation with Jroc. I'll say a lot of that is great advice. Only thing that I would probably add to it is you probably want to look at your higher interest debt first, because basically what's happening is you only paying the interest, and so you're never really getting caught up to where you need to be. So, but I think we should shift our focus.
Yeah, you're in that loophole at that time. If you got that high interest, you're just it's tough. But hey, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do though.
Low key.
So even if you're not in that low interest, bro, you still have to find a way to allocate the right things at the right time.
Yeah. I think we should shift our focus though to investing, because that's the good part, right? Investing is often seen as a key component of long-term financial success. Jroc, what are some of your thoughts on that?
I mean, we've talked about, investing previously as well. It's cool to make sure that you study the investments that you're getting into, whether it be the ones that's a quick flip,
okay,
or knowing that it's the one that you're getting into for the long term.
Okay.
And if you get into the one for the long term, that's what's tough, is realizing and understanding you're here for the long term.
What they say, patience, grasshopper.
And that term is really up to you.
Okay.
But if you have that term, write it out and ride it out. Make sure you stick to it and stick to that long term, because the issue is we get into these long terms and it's going down. You pull out too quick. I mean, it's happened to a few of us before.
True. Because I definitely was in the COVID stuff, and I had me some AMCs, and I pulled out a little earlier. Then it just jumpity jumped, and I was like sick, low key, I was sick. But I made a cool little, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna cap. I did make a cool little, you know what I mean? And I never, and that's during that, during COVID and stuff like that, when people were kind of got themselves into investing into the stock market and stuff like that. I don't know. I'll say that's when I started picking that up, because I wasn't into that beforehand.
Yeah, for sure. But you got to make sure you're doing research.
Yes. Well, that's
the financial literacy part of it. That's where the literacy comes in, is understanding how the money works. And then understanding how to make the money work for you. Right. So that's what the literacy part comes into, the financial literacy of everything.
That's when because what I was saying, I was reverting that back to investing. So like you have your 401ks and stuff like that through your work and stuff like that. And that was like the first time that I ever like put my own money up to try to like do the stock market and stuff and see. And I learned a lot. I mean, I did watch a lot of like, videos and stuff like that. But like you said, long-term game. But again, being financial literacy is very, very, very important. Financial literate is very important. You can learn about, personal finance. You can make better decisions. And then you can also watch out for the common traps. Yeah. Because there's a lot of traps out there.
Shit, it's a lot of them.
But then also, it lets you know when you can take advantage of an opportunity. So you'll understand.
It's a thin line between an opportunity and a trap, because a lot of people think hopping on a certain opportunity, but that could be a money trap as well. It could
also be a trap. Opportunity can also be a trap. But by being financial literate, you understand the difference between what's an opportunity and what is actually a trap.
I mean, it's easy. It's quick to follow somebody else. But before you do that, man, just do your research on it. It's easy. Yeah. Trust me.
I would say
just do the research.
Do your homework. Do your homework. But and not like in high school when you used to copy after the homie. Like, do your own research. Do your own informed decisions. Because everybody's like path is different. So, the results for them might not be the results for you. And so you can't always assume that that's going to be the same results for you. But if you do the research, then you can know the patterns, the trends, and things like that. You'll be able to, understand the different products that deal with finance, and also be able to manage your money effectively. That's the hardest part for me. Well, I think budgeting and using my money effectively. Yeah. I would say those two, like if I was talking about like what are my pitfalls when it comes to money, I would say those two would be that. And then also the long-term mindset. Now that I have Bella and stuff like that, like I'm thinking about that more. I say like when I was big kicking it was big kicking it. Whatever happened, the bread is the bread. It'll come, it'll go. But now I'm old. So
yeah.
I don't know. But well, let's go ahead and let's wrap this up.
You ready to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. I would say, this has been a great convo though.
Okay, yeah.
These last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
These last 4 episodes, like, open up some people's eyes, maybe not. Maybe open up your ears. If you picked up some tidbits and stuff like that, hey, go ahead and share that.
Yeah, share
that
it
with us.
And again, we do appreciate everybody that's been locked in with us, and everybody else who's already been following us. Just continue doing what you guys do. This is Right Now Podcast with Jroc and KJ, and we're out.